biggest scandal in Gran Turismo 7 is dirty driving, really. And in this video, I'm going to explain why dirty driving is such a problem and what we can do about it, what we can do to fix it. Now, if you're playing Gran Turismo 7, you will know that dirty driving is worse than ever before. And if you're looking to buy Gran Turismo 7 or pick up Gran Turismo 7, I think this video is going to be very important to you because it's really going to show the dirty driving that may massively affect your enjoyment of the game. Now, we've got on screen here probably the most notorious dirty driver of all time, Kimi Vellicini. And this video, the background content here is probably the best example of why dirty driving is a problem. Have a look in this video. There's one already. Let me know in the comments how many cars Kimi takes out, how much chaos he causes by the end of the video. I think it will really, really shock you. So why do drivers do dirty driving? Well, this is the thing. I actually think it sounds quite surprising. I actually have nothing against the concept of someone wanting to go onto their PlayStation and smash a few cars around. I completely get it. When I was a kid, you know, sometimes I like to do that, drive the wrong way, do all this kind of stuff. The difference is, back then I was doing it offline against the AI just to have some fun. And I think that's what these dirty drivers enjoy. Part of what they enjoy, they just enjoy crashing into other cars. They enjoy seeing the crashes, the tyre smoke, hitting the barrier, all these sort of things. But this should be completely and utterly unacceptable, because in an online race like this, and especially in sport mode, which has the ranking system which feeds into the esports events, you are completely ruining other drivers. And look in the background now, you see the complete chaos that Kimi's has caused. It's not just when you punt one driver off, you ruin his race. To me, it's much more than that. Because you put the lobby in this situation where either they continue to play by the rules we expect and not round drivers off, in which case you'll get rammed, or they lower themselves to the dirty driver standard and they ram off the dirty driver and each other, and then you basically ruined an entire lobby. Now, I'm very passionate on this channel about sim racing. The proudest thing for me about this channel is how many people we have showcased sim racing to and got into sim racing, whether it's through my tips videos or just sim racing I do. And this lobby is a complete antithesis of that. It's a complete opposite of what I'm on YouTube to do. Now, this brings me on to my second point here, which is there's another reason why these dirty drivers, I think, enjoy doing the dirty driving, why they do it. And that's because there's a bit of a phenomenon at the moment about dirty driver videos, people making a lot of dirty driver videos on their YouTube channels and giving these guys a lot of recognition. Now, I have to be completely honest here. I think if you're playing Gran Turismo 7 quite regularly as a YouTuber, these dirty driver examples are great content for you. When you're in a race with a dirty driver, you probably think, this is going to make a great video. So that leads into this cycle where you amplify the dirty driving. No one is really talking that much seriously about what we need to do to stop this. You know, asking people to submit reports. A lot of it, I think, is just, if I'm very honest, about getting views on dirty driving and not exploring it like hopefully we're doing in this video. So when you have that combination of people enjoying the fun of smashing off other cars and also feeling a bit like a hero because they're in, you know, live streams or videos every day, you end up in this situation. And the players that lose out here, let's be completely honest, the players that lose out are just the honest, hard-working Gran Turismo 7 drivers that come on a couple of times a week after work, want to have some racing, probably aren't in the highest lobbies, but just want to have some good quality racing. And they're the drivers that lose out, because if you're a big shot YouTuber, you can get some views, you can make quite a lot of money off the adverts of these videos. If you're the dirty driver, you're getting your recognition, you're not getting banned. So it's just the people that we see here in this lobby, the people that we don't know, these names we don't know, but they're the ones losing out. And if you're watching this video, you know, I think a lot of you will be people that have lost out as well. If you end up in these lobbies where it's either punt or be punted, do you play by the... Look at the guy behind here, right? These guys could very easily punt Kimi off at the end of this straight. It's a very long straight, a very easy corner to punt someone off. But I don't think they're going to lower themselves to his level, and that is commendable. But it's also just the entire prisoner's dilemma of this lobby, because Kimi, you know, won't hesitate to punt them off. There's a bit of side-by-side there. So, you know, so he does run him wide a little bit, but he doesn't completely take him out. And that, of course, is going to make Kimi a lot angry, and Kimi will come back and completely punt this guy. No doubt we'll see. So we know dirty driving is a massive problem. and we can understand a little bit why it's happening. You know, these people enjoy it, they're getting a lot of exposure by doing it. So what should their response be? This is the really important point, right? What should the response be? I think if you see a dirty driver in your lobby and you see them punting people off the road, squeezing them up, putting them in a barrier, I think you have to use the report function. There is a report function in there, and you know that is all data. So if you're complaining about dirty driving but not using the report function, I would urge you to do it. I would urge you, if you're watching YouTubers or streamers that have dirty drivers in their lobby, I'd urge you to, in the chat, report them at the end of the race. And I think that would be a great signal, because I'm sure Sony will look at the number of reports at one point, and if they see a huge number of reports against one driver, then I think they'd be much more likely to remove them. And a lot of these drivers as well, like Kimi's a very fast driver. You know, he's able to punt people in this race and then catch up with them. Probably his DR and SR have been tanked a little bit. He's a fast driver, and a lot of these drivers are fast drivers. A lot of them possibly, and there's a lot of rumours going around it. If you check our Discord, you might see about who these dirty drivers are. Are they very fast, inverted commas, esports drivers? Some of the kids who are on alt accounts. There's been a few examples where the mask has slipped. But these are very fast drivers, and I think, you know, it'd be great for them to race. I would love to race against Kimi as a driver who is quite robust, you know, will not give you a lot of space, who is quite aggressive, but ultimately plays by the rules. I would love to race against Kimi like that. But at the moment, it's just going way, way, way too far, and there's no consequences. Now, the irony is, a lot of people on this, you know, in this channel will absolutely trash, you know, Forza. We play a lot more Gran Turismo 7, but in Forza, the reality is that if you accumulate enough penalty points, you do get disqualified from the race. It will just disqualify you. Now, you can see in this race here, the penalty system just clearly is not working. That should be pushing a car off track. That should be an absolute slam dunk 3, 5, 7-second penalty. Now, I've played on this channel, you know, a lot of Gran Turismo Sport when the penalty system was updated quite a lot. Sometimes be very harsh, sometimes be very lenient. I instinctively quite like a harsh penalty system. I think that forces us to drive to the penalty system. I think as racing drivers, we will exploit everything we possibly can. If the penalty system gives us leeway, we'll exploit it. And some people will exploit it more than others. And you can see here, Kimi is completely exploiting it. That should be a penalty. The penalty system is not working. There's no damage there as well, because it's very, you know, slight side-to-side contact. So the increased damage isn't going to affect him. Kimi's able to basically do what he wants in this lobby. And that's why I think the reports are very important, because if you can continue to report people, if they accumulate a lot of reports, then, you know, Sony and Polyphony can see that the penalty system just isn't working, because these drivers just continue to accumulate reports, and it shouldn't be like that. Kimi should have taken a massive penalty and, you know, possibly be disqualified from the race. You know, Gran Turismo is in a very difficult position here, because people are, you know, Kimi is paid for this game, or maybe his parents paid for the game, and, you know, you don't want to deny paying customers the opportunity to play the game. That's very, you know, controversial. But ultimately, this is a mode within the game. It's a relatively small part of the game, and in this mode, I think you have to play by the rules, otherwise the whole mode just does not work. I mean, have a look at this race. Kimi's in first place now. You just can see how corrupt really this is. Let's zoom ahead and see the end of the race. So we'll see now if Kimi gets any kind of comeuppance. I mean, the whole trust in the lobby, there we go, there's a punt now. So the whole lobby is just, you know, utterly broken down. And for me, it's really, really sad to see this isn't sim racing. And I think this is why the lobbies, let's be honest, are not the same as they were in GT Sport. The player depth isn't there. You know, the online stuff is really struggling compared to GT Sport. And for a game that is a game as a service, I think that's really, really bad. You want a very healthy player count, and that's just not happening at the moment in sport mode. So, I don't know. I mean, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Let me know what you would do about Kimi. Let me know what you would do about dirty driving. Let me know about your thoughts about this video. Really interested to hear from you, and I will see you. I'll see you next time.